Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Bonnie. Welcome to my home in Nashville. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name is Bonnie Morgan. I'm a micro-influencer. You may have seen me on social media as Shop with Bon, and I also work in local advertising. So we are in Nashville, Tennessee, in my home. I would say that my house is colorful, it's playful, a little bit eclectic. You may say maximalist, but I just love to collect and curate pieces and put things that I love together. I have lived in this home for about a year now. I will be moving soon, but I've been collecting the pieces that I've had in the past homes that I've had for the past about 5 to 6 years, just over time, curating and collecting things. I picked this location because I wanted to live in West End. I live right near Vanderbilt. My backyard is quite literally the practice field for the football team. So I wanted to kind of be in the hustle and bustle of things right outside of downtown. Welcome to the kitchen. This is my favorite room of the house. I love this breakfast nook. I just recently got it, and it's awesome because it has storage. So in these, you can lift them up, place stuff in here. So if you're in a smaller space, it's really great. Pretty much everything you'll see throughout my house, a lot of the art I've made. So I made this painting. It says, "I don't cook, but I like to stir the pot." I thought that was fun. A lot of the pieces that I have, like I've said before, I've thrifted. So these chairs are from Facebook Marketplace. This table is CB2, also from Facebook Marketplace. I love to haggle and find stuff on Marketplace. It's always great to look in your area or nearby. A lot of the other things, this I did get when I was in Italy recently, but I mean, these are from Ross. I think these napkins were from Ross, and placemats from Amazon. So everything throughout my home is super budget friendly. I love mixing patterns. I thrifted these frames and put art in them. It's just, super fun to add a bunch of things together that you love, and I'm always down for doing it yourself. Another one of my favorite pieces in my home is this. I actually got this for free. I found it on the side of the road, and I left it, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it and went back, and it was still there, so it was meant to be. This is a TV cabinet. We use it as a bar though, so when you open it up, you'll see we have lots of bar items in here, and it's great for hosting and entertaining. Throughout the rest of it, I just keep some extra dishes and things like that. When I first toured and I knew we were gonna move here, this is a smaller space, so I was thinking, what am I gonna do with it? I had just picked this up, so I knew it needed to fit somewhere. When we first came in, I tried to put it against this wall. It didn't work. We had a larger table, so it kind of took time. And honestly, with everything that I have throughout my house, we started out with, a different table and chairs, and then in time, got this one, which fits perfectly, and this bench, which I know will fit in future homes. So I've really tried to use what I had at first, and then in time, get new things and replace stuff. So this piece of art that I made, I love creating things. I make recipe cards as well and sell them. I do room stylings online, so I'm always doing creative projects and kind of artistic, crafty things. I took a spray painting class when I was in high school, and I've always loved more modern art. So I love mixing some of my more traditional furniture pieces with modern art, and this is kind of an example of that. It's graffiti, it's funky, it's colorful. It really brightens up this space, and having these oriental swans next to it, kind of the mix match of it all is what I love. It's funky, it's unique, and throughout my home you'll see a lot of the pieces I have are a mix match. Like I have bamboo and cheetah print, and I like a lot of kitschy fun sayings, like this plate says, "Please no dancing on the tables." This says, "I don't cook, but I like to stir the pot." So I love fun sayings, and you'll see more of those throughout the home. So I knew I wanted a nook bench. At first I had a larger table. I think it was a large black table with 6 chairs. So once I got this round table, I had been on the hunt trying to find one. I looked on Marketplace, I looked at Home Goods, I looked everywhere I could think of for weeks. When I found this on Amazon, I knew it was the perfect one for me. It looks like a built-in, it has storage, It's under $400, so it's a very affordable option. And I think the weight limit was higher than some of the other options. So it's just better quality. It's solid wood. It was pretty easy to put together. It's just a really great option if you're looking for a built-in, but at the lower price point. All right, now I'll take you to our half bath. Follow me. Welcome to the downstairs half bath. When I first moved in, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love the wallpaper. It is a paisley, deeper red kind of pattern that I wouldn't have picked myself, but I knew I wanted to make it work. So I kind of went with a Ralph Lauren inspired theme. I have this vintage tennis racket, and then I picked out, these were on sale at Joann Fabrics. They are scalloped in blue, red, and white stripes. So kind of going with the blue and red theme that I went with in this bathroom. I made this piece of art. It says Nashville or nowhere. I painted it on a bandana, and kind of back to my testament of a lot of the things in art in this house are just things that I've made. I loved it, so I wanted to frame it. I added in some fake flowers, have some blue and white pieces in here, and I think all in all together, it, you know, the wallpaper works, and it made it, I think, as cute and fun as it's gonna be. So, and it's fun. It kind of came together and seems intentional. So that was kind of the hope, to kind of blend it together and make it fun. I would say my design style is unique in the sense that it's a little bit of everything. Throughout my home, you'll see I have traditional pieces, modern pieces, I have graffiti art, I have chinoiserie. It's very much maximalist and colorful and playful. I would say my favorite space in my home is probably the kitchen, more or less my dining nook. I love to cook. I love to have friends over and host. So any opportunity that I can, we love having people over if we're making mocktails or cocktails or cooking dinner, and just, I love entertaining. Now let's head into the living room. Welcome to the living room. You won't believe it, but a year ago, none of this existed and was here other than maybe one or two small items and some decorative pieces. But yeah, so all of this has been added. I've moved the couch around a bunch. I posted on TikTok and a ton of people helped me figure out which way to, you know, set it up. So I ended up with it like this, breaking up the room, giving a little entry. This is not a huge living space, but somehow, some way I have fit all of this furniture in here, which is great. So again, a lot of the pieces are Facebook Marketplace thrifted items. So found this at Facebook Marketplace, and originally the idea was I was gonna burl wood it, cover it with contact paper, make it look like a burl wood piece, but I've honestly fallen in love with the dark wood, so we left it. I found this from Home Goods, and it's giving Serena and Lily kinda, so I loved that. You know, this book, I found this in the Goodwill bins. It's in pristine condition. It's beautiful. So yeah, a lot of these pieces just kind of came together. I put this mirror in this frame. I found these recently at Ross. You wouldn't believe it. Both of them were only $50, so that's great. I just put these, I think they're a peony tulip blend flower in them. They're fun and droopy and a little different. So like I said, I love mixing the more traditional pieces and then having some modern touches to them. This Jonathan Adler jar is probably my favorite thing I've ever thrifted. When I found that at the Goodwill bins, I couldn't believe it. That was a few years ago in Charlotte. The Charlotte Goodwills just have the best stuff. So yeah, so everything has just kind of come together and mixed and matched, and it's been super fun. I found these chairs. I have another one that I use as my desk chair, and I decided to keep them even though I really had no place for them in this house, but I loved them. I was deciding between them and the bistro chairs in my kitchen. So, you know, I just have to find a home for things if you want to keep them, and then eventually when I get into a bigger space, I'll have a better place for them. So coming into my living area, another piece that's really fun that I got for free was this side table. I found it on a corner in Charlotte, North Carolina when I lived there, and I picked it up. I changed out the hardware, and you know, it's a great little end table. I put some books in it. I've decorated it. This is a piece of my art that I made. I sell all my prints on Etsy. So like I said, throughout my home, I have a lot of my art, and I just love making stuff myself. It's kind of Nashville inspired with the horses. This couch, I was on the hunt for the perfect couch when I moved in here. I really just wanted a little white slipcover couch, but I knew I needed something bigger. We talked about getting a corner couch, a sectional, and I found this one for sale. I think it was like $500 from Wayfair. It's slip covered, it's huge, it's really great, it's comfortable to sleep on. And so yeah, it's been great. So like I said, when I moved in here, we did not have all this furniture, so I've just kind of found and added things over time. Another fun piece, this actually is a crate. One of our friends ordered a life-size Iron Man suit that is custom fitted to his body, and it came in this crate. So when he was trying to throw it away, I said, no, let me keep it, and I made it into a trunk, and it's great. It has a ton of storage, again, for smaller spaces, and it was free. So super fun project, kind of making this into a trunk. And then, coffee table books. One of my favorite things is this book. I found it from Sadie Loving. She posted it. She is a micro-influencer that lives in Charleston, and it's on Amazon. It's really affordable and it's super cute. Another fun piece of art of mine is this. I actually have, it's the same saying on both here and on my bar cart. Like I said, I love fun, kitschy sayings, and kind of touching on this bar cart, it probably needs a fresh coat of paint. I've had it since college. It was I think a tea cart. It was a dark brown wooden color. It was scratched. It needed to be refinished. It had a tray on top of it. And so I painted it. I've had it in all of my college houses and my post-grad apartments. And now I'm trying to find a space to keep it in my home because, it's kind of sentimental at this point. So yeah, and then this rug I have had and loved. I actually had in a previous apartment a huge closet, and so it was the rug that fit perfectly in the walk-in closet, and I refused to get rid of it. I knew I wanted to make it work. It's not big enough for a bedroom, and it was perfect for this space. I found it on Facebook Marketplace as well, and I just absolutely love it. It's another piece that I've had through several phases of my life, and so it's never going anywhere, and I'll have it, I think, in every home. Hopefully, again, in a huge closet, it'll fit again one day. This red buffet, I found and loved it on Facebook Marketplace. I knew I needed something taller for our TV to sit on with just the way that this room lays, and with this lovely crate coffee table I made, it's taller. So I needed something taller. I was having trouble, and when I came across this buffet, I thought this is perfect. Again, it's great added storage for us. I love that it's red. It's a fun pop of color. I really wanted to mix, like I said, modern and traditional and color into this home. And so I loved that this traditional buffet that's red, it's just a fun pop for the room. And we've loved this piece. So I saw this table and it was on sale for half off at Home Goods. I loved that it's covered and it's textured. The shape of it I knew would be perfect to put two, stools under it. And so when I got this, I think it's technically a desk. It just fit perfectly in this space. I added, some art. Again, I think this came from a magazine, and I layered it with fabric, and then I painted it green. Just kind of, made it myself. This lamp was from Goodwill, and then I just added a shade onto it and, painted it white. This was in the dollar section at Target. It needs to be repainted, but until I could find the perfect champagne bucket, either silver or gold, I wanted something here in that space, and so I just spray painted it. So I've just kind of, added things and DIY'd stuff until I can eventually replace it, items, and so yeah, it's just fun. As I love to thrift, but I also love finding furniture on the side of the road. Whenever we walk through, I'll kind of share some pieces that I found for free, which sometimes shocks people, but just when you're driving and people are getting rid of things, what is it that people say? One person's trash is another person's treasure. So sometimes it's fun to just pick things up and rework them. That's something I love, is, a DIY project. I love going to Goodwill. I love shopping at Ross. I post a lot about shopping at Ross and TJ Maxx, but budget shopping on social media too. So I would say my design tip would just be, if you like something, even if you think they don't go together, they probably do. Just put things together that you love, they'll all blend, and don't be afraid to attempt a DIY. Sometimes you can make it yourself before you have to go and buy it, and that's always fun. All right, now let's head upstairs and let's look at the rest of the house. Before we look at the upstairs bedrooms, this project that I did on my staircase is really fun. These are all pictures from trips that I or Joe have taken. So we wanted to add in things, trips we've been on together, trips we took before we met each other. It's just really a reflection of our lives. And as we move and as we keep taking trips and traveling, we plan to add on to these. And so, yeah, super fun. I mean, some of these are from friends' weddings we've been to, or the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, just different trips and experiences. This is the primary bedroom, probably my second favorite room of our house. It took a lot of time to come together and get everything together, but another free piece of furniture, I found this, I think on the side of the road here in Nashville. When I first moved here, I didn't have much furniture, so I needed a dresser. I got this, I painted it. I need to repaint it again. Same with my nightstands. They're actually 2 children's dressers, and I love them because they have a ton of storage. So great for smaller spaces. It's actually a really great nightstand kind of hack to get children's dressers instead of a traditional nightstand. Another fun thing, this piece of art, it looks similar to the print downstairs with the horses because it is. This I painted, and again, just kind of mixing different colorful and different elements of design. So this is a traditional kind of Greek key border, and then I have some colorful horses reflective of Nashville with the kind of equestrian horses. So yeah, so just fun. I've been adding things over time. I loved these tiger pillows. I've been looking and ordered a few different ones until I found the right print. I think this kind of print of tiger is usually very expensive, but I found these on Amazon, super affordable, really love them. And yeah, just kind of mixing and matching things and added things over time as I found them. As you walk through the Jack and Jill bathroom, you'll come to the second bedroom, which is our guest bedroom. In this secondary guest bedroom, we use it as a dual space. So both a guest bed and then both my desk and Joe's desks are in here. I use my desk more for fun projects like sewing or crafting or collaging. Like this fun piece of art that I put together. It's from wrapping paper from Christmas gifts I received that I loved and saved. Like I said, I'm always crafting and doing fun projects. So that's kind of my craft desk. And then we have a more functional desk. And then also in this room is one of my 3 closets. So throughout the house, I do have 3 closets. I have a lot of clothes. I keep most all of my accessories and jewelry and kind of fun clothes and shoes in here. So that's kind of been the function of this room. So in the reality of living with a man, I wanted to kind of spruce up this more masculine space. So this is a great functional desk. If either of us are working from home, we can work here or do other activities that guys like to do, such as playing games. But I tried to spruce it up. So this print is really fun. This is more masculine with the ducks. And then I added in these 2 that I made myself. I printed both of these. I think I made the fish or the sardines one in Canva. And then I just painted the striped backgrounds, and it kind of all comes together, and it's a functional space for us. So one of my friends actually gave me this rug, as you saw downstairs. I love an animal print or, animal shape rug. So I really wanted to tie in these colors. Again, I wanted kind of a more traditional Ralph Lauren inspired theme, which is where I got this piece of art, and I've absolutely loved it. I found it at a Habitat for Humanity, and I just painted the frame gold. So it's very, traditional New England kind of looking. And then I just wanted to go with a crisp white bedding and do some fun patterns. So I love the beach, and I have these palm tree sheets that I absolutely love. I added some stripes and some houndstooth. These are Ralph Lauren pillows. I just really wanted it to be kind of fun and traditional. You'll see the blue and white lamps. So I kind of wanted to tie all that in together. This is a minky blanket. They have the best blankets. It's so soft and fluffy, kind of that pop of brown. So you'll see in the room there's colors and pops of color everywhere, but also it's a little more masculine and traditional. So a lot of the stuff you'll see in my home are things I've made. I've kind of talked about, like this pillow. I loved the fabric and I didn't measure anything. I just kind of sewed it and I put a pillow in it and it worked. So I don't always follow instructions. Sometimes I just make stuff. That's part of my creative brain, but I love doing it myself. I love finding inspiration from Pinterest. If I see something in my bathroom, I knew I wanted a matching shower curtain. I wanted trim around it. I figured out how to, do that myself instead of spending the money on Etsy to buy something that had the trim sewn on. If it's fabric glue or learning how to sew or whatever you're capable of doing, there's always an option to kind of do it yourself. So I try to look at things from that angle when I find things on Pinterest that I love. And I think, could I make this myself? Could I try and replicate something similar? I save things. I allow myself to be inspired by the other art that I see and try and not copy, but, take the inspiration and make it my own. So yeah, I love doing stuff myself and being creative. It's a great outlet. The meaning of home for me has changed over the years. It definitely is who you're with and not where you are. Of course, I love all of my things, but at the end of the day, home is your family, your friends, your loved ones, and you can build a home even if you move somewhere new, which is what I did. I'm originally from North Carolina, so I moved to Nashville and built a community around me and collected and curated more things and items around me too. So building your home and building your community. Well, Homeworthy, it's been great, but I have another DIY project to get to. I'll see you later.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.